How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. This isn't going to be a rant or anything, but it's going to be something new because it's my channel and I do what I want. So, let's just jump right into it. Today I'm going to be telling a little bit of a story. Now, in my past, I've had quite interesting encounters of first day in school, or pretty much first day of anything. I'm pretty much cursed. It's just terrible. But before I go anywhere, let me give you a little life update. I just recently started going to Eastern Florida State University. I think that's what it's called, but I think that's, yeah, they just changed the name. I'm kind of confused. But anyways, I just started doing pretty cool. I just joined a student government association over there, and I'm having a lot of fun. Really nice people. Met a lot of cool people. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Like the first I don't know, couple hours on campus, I had a blast. Everyone was nice to me. This girl offered to take me to find this log thing. She was really nice, and it was really cool. Really cool. Good experience. Now, that was my first day at EFSC, and man, a lot different than my previous first days at school. Let me tell you some stories about my other first day of school. Now, I moved around a lot when I was younger. I went to 5 different schools. I think it was 5 different schools. I don't really remember my first day at my preschool because I was really young, and I don't know, it just wasn't anything special to remember. So I'm going to be starting at elementary school. Now, I went to a school called Enterprise, and it was, man, that was a terrible day. So I woke up, I was probably about, how old would I've been? Like 8? Was I 8? I was probably 8 or 9. I was 8 or 9 years old, right? And I'm about to go into this new school. I'm getting all excited. It's the day before. Get all my stuff together, got all my crayons, got all my workbooks and all that crap together. And then I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning, I have Fruit Loops. Okay. Oh, no. It was Apple Jacks. I specifically remember Apple Jacks. This will come up later in the story, so just keep Apple Jacks in mind. So, I'm all excited. I get in the car, and then all of a sudden I get this butterfly feeling. You know that feeling when you just kind of get really nervous? I got that feeling. And I go into class. I sit in my little chair, my little name tag on it. And I meet this girl named Gianna, which is later going to be like my best friend for quite a long time until she moves away, and then stuff happens. But then, yeah, I was sitting there, and the teacher started talking, and then that stomach feeling, it just started getting worse and worse. I was like, man, when is this going to go away? I mean, Jesus. So I'm sitting there, my stomach's feeling horrible. The teacher's like, you don't want to leave the classroom unless you ask. And then I just started getting nauseous, and then I throw up all over the floor. And you want to know what color it was? Green and orange. Yes, those Apple Jacks came back up the exact same color they were when I ate them. They were all over the floor, splattered. I had to go to the nurse's office. I went back home that day. Worst day, first day so far in my life. That was quite a terrifying experience in my life. And, yeah. First day number 2. Now, the second school, or third school that I encountered, my first day was just about as interesting. I went to a school called Space Coast, 7th and 8th grade. It's like a middle through high school. It was a different kind of school. So I go there, and yet again I'm excited. I get those little butterfly feelings, but I didn't throw up this time. Surprisingly, right? I didn't throw up. Good for me, right? Yeah. So I get all together. I get on my bike because I live pretty close to school. I just rode my bike to school. So I get on my bike. I ride my bike to school, and I didn't have a lock. I was like, people won't steal my bike, right? It's just like a school with a couple hundred students, or almost 1,000 students, or something like that. They won't steal my bike. So I put my bike away. I go in, and I'm having a blast. I go to all my classes on time. Everything's awesome. I met this really cute girl. Really, really cute girl. I was like, you know what? I gotta impress this girl. So we were at lunch, and at lunch you could either eat in the cafeteria or like kind of around campus, and in the middle there was this little courtyard. There's this big rock and one of this little garden things in the courtyard, right? So me and her, we go out to the courtyard, and we sit down on this little right on the edge of the garden thing, and I was like, man, what do those cool guys do in the movies to impress those girls? Well, I think they like kind of lean on stuff and like act all cool. Like, I'm all sophisticated and everything. So, guess what I do? I lean back, put my shoulder on one of this big huge boulder in this garden thing. I'm like telling her all about how I like playing Pokemon, and what else did I do? Played soccer and made balloon animals. That was a weird period in my life, balloon animals. Anyways, let's go past that. So I'm sitting back telling her about all this stuff, and she's laughing at me, and I'm like, man, I'm making this girl giggle. Man, I got this down. Me and her, we're gonna hook up. So I'm sitting there, and I start getting this tingly feeling all over my arm. I was like, oh, I'm just nervous. So I'm talking, and she starts looking down at my arm, and I'm like, what is she doing? Why does she keep looking at my arm? Is there something on my arm or something? So I look down, and to my disbelief, I see thousands of little tiny dots all over my arm. Black little dots crawling all over my arm. And they were fire ants. I live in Florida. Fire ants are everywhere, and they just happened to infest this giant boulder in this random garden in my courtyard. My school courtyard. So, long story short, I had to go to the I had to go to the medical place yet again for my first day of school. I had freaking ant bites all the way up my neck and everything. It was terrible first day. Oh, and someone stole my bike. Icing on the cake, right? It was awesome. Now, the fourth school, first day. I went to a private school called Forest Lake Academy for my high school career or whatever. So I go there, and I'm like, man, I gotta wear a uniform and all this crap. So I'm like, wearing my uniform. I got my shirt all tucked in, and my belt on and all that crap, and my nice shoes. And I get there, and everyone's has their shirts untucked and everything. So right off the bat, I'm feeling uncomfortable. I feel like I'm this goody-goody, way too overdressed for where I'm going. So I go to my class, my first class. I sit there, and the teacher's talking, blah, blah, blah. And class is over. Next class. Boom. Got that done with. Got to my next class. Went through it. Boom. Next class. And then what I find out is when I was handed my schedule, I had somebody else's schedule. So, and I didn't know this yet. I didn't even know this yet. So I go home, I do all my homework, all that crap. I go in the next day, and I turn in my homework, and they're like, your name isn't on the roster. I was like, wait, what? My name isn't on the roster. Other things happened day prior. I'll get to that later. And basically, I just had to do the same homework assignment twice over. It was with different teacher. It was completely terrible. Oh, and earlier that day also involves a girl. Of course, you know me. So, I'm talking to this girl at lunch, believe it or not. At lunch, I was like, all right, new school, new people. I don't know any of these people. I'm going to talk to this girl. She looks really cute. I kind of think she's into me. So we're talking. And, you know, when you're sitting somewhere and, you get kind of gassy, at a random, you're not really, it's not planning, and it just kind of just comes out. You don't even feel it. It's just no warning, just boom. First time it ever happened to me, no lie. I was sitting in front of this really cute girl, telling her about, what did I do? I think I drew a lot at the beginning of high school. I was drawing like crazy, and I was talking to this girl. I was listening to what she had to say, so I could like put some input into it, make her seem that I'm interested, even though I was completely not even listening to what she was saying, which is completely terrible. But later on, I learned that you actually have to listen to girls, so that you could. Anyways, so yeah, I gave off the loudest fart I think I've ever farted in my entire life. First day of school, in front of this really pretty girl. She never talked to me afterwards, by the way. So apparently flatulence, which is a natural thing that the body does, repulses some girls. Weird, huh? But yeah. That was through high school, but college was a different story. It's kind of like I had this really crappy upcoming from childhood until adulthood, and now the first day of school gods have blessed me and let me not screw up everything the first day of school. So yeah, I had an awesome first day at college, and I'm like, I didn't know anybody around this area, so like I go to this little table. They have like all the stuff. It's the SGA table. They're showing all these groups, and they're like, hey man, you want to join a group or something? And I was like, what kind of groups do you have? And they were telling me about all this stuff, and then told me about SGA, Student Government Association. Basically, they organized all the events that happen around school. And I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? I don't really know anybody, and maybe this will be a good way to meet people. So, yeah, met a lot of people in SGA. Seemed like really cool people. I'm also thinking about starting Quidditch. If you do not know what Quidditch is, you'll probably think I'm really geeky when I try to explain it. But if you do know what Quidditch is, you know how hardcore and rugby-esque it is. Basically, if you've ever seen the Harry Potter movies, it's basically that little thing where you ride around on a broom and like Harry Potter grabs a little gold thing. I'm sorry, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. I'm actually just now starting to read the books. So I know I'm quite late, but yeah. It's a lot different. It's kind of like a mix between rugby, soccer, dodgeball, football a little bit. It's really complicated. Anyways, I'm doing a lot better than I have been in a while. I'm really excited about school. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed my little first day of school stories. And yeah, see you guys later.